in my lifetime watching the Supreme Court, I have never seen it as politically driven as it is and has gotten up to this point over the last maybe 10, 15 years.
The country is more polarized now than ever before.
Welcome to the 2A Roundtable. My name's Josh.
I'm Michelle.
Hey, wait, you're not Derek.
No.
And there's Todd.
I'm the pale version. But you're paler than me.
I know, because I haven't had any sun.
According to Mrs. Guru, I'm dirty tan.
Dirty tan.
Because she gets golden tan. I get dirty tan.
I get red. I'm at that Irish tan.
So as you can see,
We're talking about tans today.
Derek is not here today. I think there was a scheduling conflict. We don't really know what happened. We have a group chat, and
Hi, Derek.
I don't know. We'll see Derek in the next one. He's confirmed for that one. Sorry, Derek. We missed you on one. I called you. I called you like 7 times and nothing. So, anyways, we are going to talk about
Lots
Grant,
of stuff.
Eddie Grant versus Mr. Higgins.
And the Vermontese Cook County case.
You know, why do we have to give them credit?
Because
okay,
they're
let's just give Eddie credit. Like
Eddie gets a lot of credit. He's half.
Wait. My question, I shared it
Todd
with
is
you
not
guys.
the captain anymore.
Oh, I am the captain.
In his own mind.
I just want to know why all over my social media, everyone's giving Holly credit.
Because
I understand she's in charge of CCDL, but I have not seen, hey, CCDL leading the charge. It's, oh, Holly did this thing, Holly did that thing, which, hey, she's the leader of the CCDL, fine, whatever.
We're going that way already.
No. I can explain this. You won't like it, but I can explain this.
Regale me.
So, the CCDL.
Too late. You're like stuttering. You're
No,
like,
CCDL, because I'm trying to find the right words. CCDL found the plaintiff, and they started this with SAF. And
Second Amendment Foundation for
Yes.
everyone at home.
So Eddie Grant is the plaintiff, but CCDL was involved in making this happen.
Yeah. Would you say who was involved?
CCDL.
Okay. When an individual is like, oh, it's because this person did a thing. No. It's the group. She's in charge of the group. Fine. I have no problem, but plug them, not the individual. I don't know. To me, it was just, I think it was stealing thunder from Eddie.
And CCDL.
And the group and SAF.
And all the donations that they've been requiring or begging for.
You know,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know, it's just me. I don't think it's in any individual. He did not.
It never
Get
should
us
be.
there.
Correct.
It is the group effort.
Correct. And it never should be an individual. When you're in an organization, a 2A, any organization, it shouldn't be about you or Joe Schmo or the one sitting over there. It's the organization that does that. So
Holly is the face of CCDL for the most part.
Correct.
So that's where
because she's the president. Whether she does it or she doesn't, she is the president. She is the face.
No. I have no
so
problem
I think
with her
like
going
that's
out
what
there.
people associate it with.
I have no problem with her going out there. Toot the horn. Good. I have a problem when everyone's like, it's all because of her, and I'm like, it's not. It's the group effort.
I didn't see those comments.
The collective.
It is. It's the whole group. And there's people that aren't in CCDL anymore that were on the executive whatever committee.
Executive committee and board.
No one's saying, hey, you know what? Fishbine's and
actually
Cameron's arguments helped lead the way. They crafted something that the Supreme Court said that hands down is the best we've ever seen.
Wait. Holly didn't craft it?
No, it was Cameron. And
what's
Fishbine.
Cameron?
Spectrum Cowboy.
Okay.
And it's not being mean or derogatory. You just got to get over how Cameron talks. But Cameron, hands down, I ask him questions
He's a
all
smart
the time.
dude.
He, hands down, one of the smartest lawyers I've ever talked to, especially when it comes to civil rights.
Correct.
He just has no filter because we were at a Christmas party, and he walks up to Mrs. Guru, and he's like, "Oh, you're looking extraordinarily old now," because she had gray hairs, and she's like, "Thanks."
That's not what you say to a woman.
Yeah. Well, Cameron's wife came running over. She says, "We don't say that. She's got gray hair." I was just like,
we all do at a certain age. You don't point it out.
Yeah. Again, you know what? I have a question.
Michelle's hair is looking very red today.
It's pretty today because I don't have. Well,
fresh hair dye.
Could be.
She's going for that Rosa DeLaura look.
No. You know what? No. That's just rude.
That's fighting words.
Derek, how do you feel about this?
Please comment on that and tell Todd, no. That's not nice.
Derek wasn't here to help you.
No.
No. Oh, I
No.
did share the link for everybody for our
Todd's going to plug.
Our Connecticut for Gun Rights shirt
Yes.
that we should wear in celebration of having Grant v. Higgins.
I'm just impressed Todd has a colored printer. That's expensive. I only have black and white printers
They're
here.
not expensive.
Yes, they are. The ink's expensive. All right, let's go back on topic here because that was a pile of shit.
Nobody wants to talk to us about anything? Like just our lives?
So, no, they don't care.
Do you care? Please let
All
us
right,
know.
Grant v. Higgins, what does this all mean now? I'm going to go delete the first 10 minutes of this.
No, you're not.
Maybe.
It means yay.
It does mean yay. So,
Happy Day.
I was in the store. It was Tuesday, and Michelle happened to be dropping off some holsters. You can get those at patriotholsters.com.
Patriot
Yeah.
Wear holsters.
Patriotwearholsters.com.
Well, if you don't say the right name, they get confused. Sorry, guys. Don't mean for him to confuse
You know, I was being nice and trying to plug her business, but you know what? I'm just going to go delete that too.
It's Gun Guru approved.
It
I
is.
have a Patriot Wear holster on right now.
It's sweet. Sweet. We have new products, too, by the way, guys.
You know, our
Just, you know.
viewership just right off there.
Nah.
Got a phone call. Looked at the caller ID as I do. See, Grant Eddie. And I'm like, shit. Now we're going to rewind to Monday where Eddie was in the store and we were talking. And because like that was supposed to be like the last day. And Eddie was in around 5 o'clock. He's like, oh, yeah, they extended it. I was like, all right. And kind of went over some
Which is
options.
weird, by the
It
way.
was weird.
That kind of an extension doesn't happen.
And then he calls and I'm like, yes, Eddie. And he's like, we got granted, sir. And I was like, holy shit.
And I'm dancing. I'm in his shop dancing. I was having fun. That was
Play
awesome.
the video now. No, I don't have the video. And I'm like, Michelle, we're going to do a video right now. And so I lock up the store.
It was nice of him to invite me because usually
I
he doesn't.
did call Todd, regrettably.
Yes, that was
'Cause
my
that
doing. That
mother-
was me.
Bucker. That was Bucker, by the way. Decided to be like, oh, I'm going to go beat Josh and do a live. Click.
All right, so first of all,
Yeah, I watched your video.
I was watching SCOTUS Black.
And then you went off to go and play
and
in the
then
pool.
Mrs. Guru and I went off to the pool. We were laid in the sun,
Nice.
spinning around like a rotisserie chicken.
Okay.
Obviously not enough.
That sounds like fun.
Oh, it was great. Then we're like, okay, we've had, about an hour and a half in the water, laying on our little floaties. We're cool. Get out. We're just sitting there chilling. You called. I was like, oh, okay, so he's going to go record now with Michelle. Great. I said, I still have to record.
You went, I'll beat her.
Then I got to edit. Then I got to do this. Then I got to do that. And I was sitting there for a good 5 minutes, and I was like, whatever, I'll get it done. You're going to beat me, no big deal. And I was like, wait, I'll just go live. I was like, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Okay.
So
to
we-
put this out, though, I just need to tell you, I told him he had to call you, that it was rude that he didn't inform
I was going to call you afterwards.
He wanted to call you afterwards. So by you doing that, you screwed up me trying to be nice to you.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Fuck you, Todd.
Just saying.
So,
Did you watch it, though? Because I said,
Yes, I
hey,
did.
listen, Lock and Load is recording one right now with Michelle, so go check it out after this.
and I beat him. So on that, we had a little technical difficulty when recording or post-recording.
Michelle is not a technical difficulty.
I am.
Yes, she is.
I am.
So on top of me the video was fine. The audio did not catch for whatever reason, which is why we do a backup audio recording. And then I had to mush that together, get that lined up. Then I had to export. Then I had to import. Then I had to export. It was a little complicated. We made it work. We got it out there. Todd beat me by like 40. Oh, I have one of those next door if you'd like to go use it.
It doesn't matter. Our listeners on all platforms.
Yes, I'm sure you
got
guys
to
have
hear it.
watched-
That's the important part.
So
I'm sure they've watched our videos. at
here's
this
the one
point.
thing I want to say is this is this is old. This is Grant v. Ravella,
He's getting into
which is now Grant v. Higgins. So we all know this. We've all done videos on it. We've beat this to death. But they merged it with Vermontes, Cook County, which is super thick. And their
Is it thick with
arguments,
two C's?
this. Yeah, but
it's chunky.
so I haven't read it, but is it just more wording than ours, or is it truly more encompassed than
It's
ours?
a little more encompassed. It's coming at it at a slightly different angle.
Okay.
But overall, it's the same. And I understand why they combined the two cases. The same law firm is representing both cases. So it made sense to just put them together.
Yep.
All right. So the Cook County case goes in and they talk about what Illinois basically did with pistol grips, this, that, and the other thing, features, non-trigger hand, all that good stuff. And then they went on to argue, which so I'm flipping through pages for all of you guys. It's a long freaking read.
This is normal for Todd.
And this, I hate to tell you this isn't the full lawsuit.
Q2 Todd flipping through papers.
All right, so this is reasons for grant. Well, I have to get through 15 pages of BS. Reasons for granting the petition. Lower courts need guidance in applying Heller and Bruen to the arms ban cases because, they're like, well, Connecticut is a perfect example. They argued at the Second Circuit that we can ban it because the AR-15 is dangerous or unusual. That's not what Bruen said. It was dangerous and unusual.
Right.
Words are very important
when it comes to laws. So that fit in with us, which is another thing that we argued about.
Well, I find it interesting that they say that the lower courts need to have clarification. You didn't use those words, but that, because shouldn't judges all kind of be on the same, don't they all take an oath to the Constitution? I mean, just ask.
They do.
Our friend.
Now, so 2 terms ago in Rahimi, the 3 justices acknowledged a need for guidance to the lower courts when it comes to Second Amendment cases. Indeed, the first question that the courts of appeals require assistance on is fundamentally, what is an arm? What is it?
Right.
SCOTUS needs to tell us what it is because that's how they play the games. They're like, well, we're going to interpret it this way. Just like Amy Coney Barrett did with the 14th Amendment, or whatever amendment it was, when it came to birthright citizenship, which was a real stretch because that was not the original intent.
No.
They do talk about Bianchi versus Brown. In contrast, the Sixth Circuit. Oh my God, I can't speak. United States Bridges recently concluded that only 2 brief paragraphs largely dealing with Heller's exposition of the term machine gun is undoubtedly an arm, which we're allowed to keep and bear. So that was
after you pay an exorbitant amount of money.
Yes, but it is protected under the Second Amendment because machine guns are arms.
Correct.
Which is where all those other gun tours came out, and they're like, machine guns are protected on the Second Amendment. 2, issue presented by this case are critically important. A decision below blesses a ban on the most popular rifle in America. So that's the other thing is it's in common use, which they've already ruled. You can't ban guns in common use.
But wait, you just said they bless guns in common use.
So it's just the way it's worded.
Okay.
But the Supreme Court has already said unanimously AR-15s are in common use.
Correct. Barrett said it. And I think, didn't
can't-
Sotomayor actually say it in
It's
one of
unanimous. Yeah.
Yes.
You can't ban guns that are in common use.
Correct.
So the issue raised by this case is important. AR-15 is the most popular, blah, blah, blah. It goes on. And then they also say, under the rationale of the decision below, the Second Amendment permits anything short of a complete ban on all firearms. So either you ban all guns or you can ban nothing.
Right.
That's the end of it.
Connecticut is confused.
The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms, period. Everything, including cannons. It's always been legal because we used to have privateers with warships.
I want a tank.
With tons of, you can buy one.
But no, I want a fully operational.
You can get one.
God, the red tape.
But when the military sells them, they're decommissioned. The cannons don't work. You have to redo it. Just like there's an ATM form for a nuclear weapon.
No, I don't want that.
No, I'm just saying there is one. There's ATM forms for biological weapons.
Me personally, that's a little over the top.
So the other thing is they talked about is Cook County's, the law and the decisions that have been given forth from the other courts of appeals, they conflict with Heller and Bruen.
Yes.
Heller requires that the banned rifles are arms within the meaning of the Second Amendment's plain text. That's one of their arguments.
But then at the end of the day, you also have Connecticut arguing that they can ban all these things because the states have the right.
So they say...
Well, on that, why don't we listen to our wonderful Attorney General and his TikTok the other day on what they think they can ban. So for the viewers at home...
Sorry, guys.
This is a good old Tong on, his interpretation of this. His TikTok right before this was the Supreme Court did a great job today. And then the Supreme Court is horrible right after.
Right.
So here we go.
There's just no question that Connecticut's ban on assault weapons is constitutional. This is personal for us. We passed our assault weapons ban after we lost 26 souls at Sandy Hook. And our response was the right response to keep people safe here in Connecticut. States have the right and prerogative. The Supreme Court has said over and over again, we have the right and prerogative to use our police powers to keep people safe. So while the Supreme Court granted cert today on a case challenging Connecticut's assault weapons ban, we are ready for this fight and we are going to win it. Connecticut's.
So wait a minute. If the states have the right to have the police keep our state safe, shouldn't they actually be convicting those who use these firearms illegally or in a detrimental manner?
That would screw up our numbers, and then we'd lose federal funds. The other argument,
because the police have no they have no say over a law passed to ban anything. That's not their job.
So this is the last one, and then I'll want
Okay.
to discuss something. They also include in Cook County that history demonstrates only the arms that are both dangerous and unusual may be banned. Keyword
Okay.
is and.
So what would it be a dangerous and unusual weapon? Like, I'm just
I got it.
curious.
Biological weapons.
Huh?
Todd.
Biological weapons, nuclear
Okay.
weapons, but
So we're talking way of the scope of the average
yes.
U.S. citizen.
Grenade.
Okay.
But it comes down,
Unusual.
it's pretty subjective.
Just carrying around a grenade over there, Michelle.
If I could.
Well, it depends on the type of grenade.
A one that goes boom. A hand grenade, a frag.
A fragmentation grenade.
That'd be. There's a time and a place. I can see
Yeah.
that.
There's a time to use one, to throw one, sure, at a range.
So that was Tongs.
And a mannequin.
Okay, we can go with that one.
Yeah, see?
So that
You're
was
too safe.
We played Tongs' response.
Yes.
And then good old Ned came out with one.
So I like Tong. I don't like Tong. Response. Clipping that. His response goes onto the emotional level, which is what they use with gun control all the time, is we have to bring up Sandy Hook. And again, you're convicting millions and millions of gun owners for the act of one psychopath.
No,
Like,
he's
it's
persecuting. He's not convicting.
tomato, potato.
There's a difference.
So here's the other thing is I brought this up in the live, and a lot of people don't understand this. Maybe I just take it for granted. The Bill of Rights dictates what the government, Uncle Sam, the federal government can't do to us, right?
Correct.
It's negative rights, right?
Correct.
You have this right automatically, and Congress shall pass no laws.
It's to control the
Correct.
government.
But the way we interpret the Second Amendment today is actually brand new
Correct.
due to Heller and Bruen. Because states have always been able to come up with their own laws, 10th Amendment, and if you didn't like it, you could move.
Correct.
Okay? Even when the Founding Fathers first founded the country with the Bill of Rights, we had blasphemy laws.
Yes.
You couldn't go out in the street and, say bad things about God or Jesus or whatever. So that's original. But the Supreme Court has come out and said, no. It supersedes all other laws, the Bill of Rights, that's it. These are the rights. Whether it's Congress or it's the state legislating bodies, you cannot do these things. Because if you look back during the Old West times, we see it in movies and TV shows all the time. You roll up into town, and the sheriff would be like, hey, we don't allow guns here.
Correct.
You need to surrender them, and when you leave, you can get them back.
Correct.
And nobody cried, oh, it's my Second Amendment right. They're just like, okay. But it's gotten out of hand, and the Supreme Court's like, no. The right of the people shall, they can bear arms. Even Connecticut's own constitution.
I bet they still had a gun on them.
Some of them.
Yeah.
So
Why
no
do you think
pocket
the
guys.
saloons got freaking shot up? Absolutely. But those were the bad guys. But the sheriffs were also the retired bad guys. So that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, and they held the bad guys accountable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Making bad guys bad
Amazing
again.
how that works. All right, so Lamont sent a letter out yesterday. I got it from Whiny Radio, whatever.
Yes,
the hell
yes,
it is.
yes, yes. Okay.
And he talks about a bunch of crap. But when it comes to gun violence, it's at the very end. He says for Connecticut, there's no issue closer to the heart than this one,
Because our feels,
our feels.
which we have,
This
but we
tool-
shouldn't be legislating
Right.
on them.
This term, the court struck down Hawaii's law with Wilfred v. Lopez, ruling that states may not stop concealed carry permit holders from bringing firearms onto private property open to the public without the owner's permission. And in the days ahead, the court has agreed to hear the challenge to our own assault weapons ban alongside a similar law from the Chicago area, with arguments to come in the beginning of the term around October. Again, they run till July of next.
Yeah, everybody keeps saying
next
it's going to be
year.
heard in the fall. We don't know that right now.
Even if they hear it in October, we won't learn until June.
No.
These cases will be the first in the court weighs in on constitutionality of laws restricting semi-automatic rifles used in so many of our nation's massacres. Even though the deadliest school shooting ever, what do you think they used?
Mac 9.
Glock 19.
Yeah, wasn't that
I thought it was
Virginia Tech.
Yes, I was going to
Because I
say
lived in
Columbine, but it
Virginia.
wasn't.
Columbine.
It was Virginia
Yes.
Tech. No, they used the Glock 19. They could fact check me on that one.
Well, you can
But it
go
was a
back
Glock.
to the school. There was also a school in Pennsylvania, a Amish school, I think, that they didn't use any firearm, but it was literally, I don't even remember, like 30-something children died.
Lamont also says Connecticut's assault weapons ban was not written in the abstract. It was enacted in 2013 in the aftermath of the unimaginable tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary School, Heartstrings.
Which it was, though. It was a tragedy.
It was a tragedy.
But we have to stop tromping all
We should
over
not
that
do a
tragedy.
collective punishment for one bad apple.
Yes,
He couldn't even buy the gun legally. He had to murder his mother to steal it.
correct.
Okay. He goes on to say, right after the Sandy Hook School, it's a comma, he goes, where a weapon designed for war took the lives of 21st graders and 6 educators. I don't know how many times have I talked about this to nauseum. AR-15 was built for civilians.
Yes.
The XM-16, which came out in the 60s, was field tested for Air Force and Army. But it was designed in the mid-50s, the AR-15 was, by Eugene Stoner, for civilians. And they literally had to revamp the trigger mechanism and everything because that's when the military came out and said, you know what, we're tired of carrying around these 308s. Can we get a 22, select fire, et cetera, et cetera? And they said, you know what, we got the perfect gun for that. Let's just redo it and turn it into something they could utilize. And that's how the XM16 came along, which turned into the M16 and all its variants, M4s, HK416, etc. Lamont does
More
say,
importantly, with a giggle switch.
with a giggle switch. The law is part of a broader bipartisan gun safety framework, bipartisan, that has strengthened since 2019, including laws on background checks, ban on ghost guns, and our red flag law, and the most recent ban on convertible pistols. Our gun laws are part of why Connecticut remains among the safest states in the nation.
But
I like how they call it bipartisan when, like,
it was.
let's say there's 10 people on a board. It's 5 and 5, Democrat, Republican. The Democrats all vote yes. The Republicans all vote no, except one. So it's a 6-4. Now it's bipartisan.
Right.
No, it's not.
Well,
we had
and on this, but when we had the ban after Sandy Hook, or I'm going to just say 2013 because I can't stand that whole going back to that
Next
over and
year.
over. We had quite a few Republicans that flipped on that.
Of course.
And it was
They're
because
weak.
of the feelings. Well, they were worried about, I mean,
They're worrying about the
No,
re-elections.
exactly.
Correct.
They're
And
worried
it-
about re-election. That's
and
it.
it rocked the whole entire state. Unfortunately, I went to a lot of different towns along this whole ride, and I have to say, most of the people that were rocked the most had no contact, had no ties, had never been to Sandy Hook at all. And they were the ones that were fighting the hardest and were so upset. And the ones that were actually knew someone, lived close to there or in that town, a lot of them were fighting to keep our rights. And I find that very, I don't know, it was just always very strange to me that the ones across the state that never had anything to do had to figure out where
Well,
Sandy
that's-
Hook was.
That's the CAGVA fucks for you anyways.
But
right?
even the
and all of those
Republican
groups.
side.
Well, you got to look at the language they use. Okay, they came up with an assault weapon
Yep.
to confuse people with assault rifle. Assault rifles are real, and they've been banned since 1986 with the Hughes Amendment. You can get a pre-ban, but nothing new.
Correct.
Okay, fine. People don't understand the difference between assault rifle,
And an armor light.
which is real, right? The military uses them, and it started all the way back in the 40s with the Sturmgewehr. Assault weapon is not a thing, because if I took a stool and I went next door and I smashed Nick in the head, did I assault him? Yes or no?
Yes.
Did I use the stool as a weapon?
Yes.
That's an assault weapon.
It's an
the
assault
same-
stool.
It's the same as now the new tag word is crime gun.
Or assault firearm, which is what Virginia used.
Correct. They just keep coming up with these hot buttons that people go, oh. It's sort of like calling a Glock.
Convertible.
Automatic.
No, they're calling it a machine gun.
which it's not.
No, it can be converted to have rapid
Which is
fire.
illegal.
But exactly. But
It's
people,
illegal.
It's
you know,
illegal. It's been illegal.
I mean, and I know it from like
Many different ways. It's illegal.
Remember, 1,200 rounds a minute, guys, with your 10-round magazine capacities.
my sister, who's not a gun owner. Okay, we grew up around guns.
Hi, Michelle's sister.
But we had a conversation briefly, and she said, well, nobody should have those kinds of machine guns.
Well, again,
And I'm like, wait a minute, they're not. And then we stopped talking because that was not
again,
a rabbit hole I'm
that's
going
when
down.
they talk about, well, it's a weapon of war.
Yeah,
Okay, so
could
you're,
be.
you're a
M1
learned
a
man.
1911.
You're a learned man.
Learned.
Learned.
Okay.
All right, you have a degree and stuff.
Is anyone still watching?
I think so.
AR-15, legal or not,
For what?
for regular people in Connecticut.
No.
Yes,
Super AR-15, is it legal or is it not legal?
it's legal,
You have to make it compliant.
but it's legal with a fixed mag.
It's just
That way.
it's illegal, pretty much, right?
Yeah, in your definition of a regular AR-15,
Regular
Okay.
AR-15.
that is
Okay.
not legal in Connecticut.
Correct. Cool. Mini 14.
Totally legal.
What's the difference?
One looks like a nice little hunting rifle that you go and shoot Bambi with. The other one looks like a scary
One's-
military-grade assault weapon.
One's got wood.
Yeah. But you don't even.
Well, they make a polymer one.
Wait. Now let me ask you this: which one was used in war?
I mean, isn't the Mini 14 based off?
It is
the,
a weapon of war.
Yeah.
It was? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mini 14 was a weapon of
Well,
war.
the M1As they used.
Those are still legal. What about a Glock 19?
I mean, I don't know.
That's
who
a weapon
uses
of
them. I'm
war.
sure somebody
SF uses them. How about a Mark 25? Can I
Yeah.
get by a P226 Mark 25?
The Navy SEAL gun.
Yeah. It's
How
the
about
Navy
the 1911?
Yeah,
won a world war and a bunch of other wars too.
Like
a Ruger.
M1 Grand, right?
The Ruger. What is it? The Marks. Didn't they? Not the Marks. The 9mm Lugers. They use those.
Yeah, World War II. No, yeah, not Ruger, Luger.
Luger.
The Luger PO8.
Yes.
How about a Ruger Mark IV suppressed?
I don't think that's used in a weapon of war.
Actually, it is. It's used to take out streetlights. Subsonic 22 LR, Ruger Mark IV, suppressed with a whisper pickle for taking out lights.
You'd be amazed how many different.
Why do you know this, Todd?
You'd be amazed people in the military actually use.
Yeah.
Well, it would make sense if you're just trying to take out lights. You don't want a big bang. You just want to.
Again, though, they cross over. The P320.
Weapon of war.
What was it designed for?
Civilian market.
No.
No
The
military.
P320 was designed for what originally?
I mean, the M17 and the M18 are
Exactly.
those variants.
The M17, the M18.
Yeah, but
and
the P320 was around before the M17
and the P320 is just the civilian version of what the military adopted branch wide. The 19X, what was it designed for?
The military.
What was it trialed by? The military.
Military.
And because Glock is Glock, and they're like, no, that's what you get. They're like, but it's not
M9A4.
convertible. We can't do this. It's not modular. They're like,
M9A3, actually. But
and that's what you get. And that's when the military is like, we don't like Glock. They regret that now because the M18 and
P320.
M17 is just. But again, 19X, perfectly legal till October 1st.
Beretta.
There's tons. There's tons. Look at the H&Ks and the different H&Ks that have made for military purposes.
We don't like HJs.
No, I
I'm
do.
just fucking with you. Yeah, of course. It's German.
Ooh.
You just buy guns that were made in Germany.
Could I buy a Brown Bess,
I don't know what that is, dude.
a 54 caliber flintlock musket?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody can.
Is it a firearm?
No.
No.
No. What war did we use those in?
I'm going to guess revolutionary.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a weapon of war.
Yeah, you don't need a permit for that. That's okay. Nobody
Why
needs
Because it's
it.
not a real firearm
Right.
now. But who had them?
The military.
And
The civilians.
yeah,
Well, then that's just it. I mean, when the Second Amendment was written, we had exactly what the military had.
that was the point.
But now we
I
don't.
want a tank.
You
I
can
told you I
buy
do.
one.
Nope, I want a tank.
You can buy one. You can buy a Bradley if you wanted one. You could
Just
buy
drive it down the road.
You could buy fighter jets.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
There's a company out there, it's privately owned, and they own fighter jets from all around the world,
I don't
and
want
they're
a
the
fighter
aggressor squadron against like our Air Force and our Navy Air Force. He has F-16s, they've got F-18s, they've got Saabs, all the different jets from all around. They got MiGs, all of it.
I think it's good that they're there, but
He
I don't
owns
want
them. You're telling me that a MiG is not a weapon of war?
Does it have a missile?
Yes, they've got. Well, they're CATMs, so it's a static weapon that the internal components work the same. There's just no rocket motor or warhead.
But you could put it there, couldn't you?
Some modifications. I'm pretty sure they're working.
I think we've lost our entire audience.
They're working cuts.
Well, they shouldn't be. This is fun.
All right, so here's real quick.
It's something.
Here's what Lamont ended on. This note is what
Keep going back to it.
Lamont ended on. He goes, Lamont, intend to keep the promise I made to grieving families over a decade ago. So here we go back to the
Wasn't this under Malloy's administration?
We will do everything in our power to keep weapons of war off the streets, out of our schools, and away from our neighborhoods. Connecticut will not back down from its right to protect its own people. Cool. When there are just a shit ton of shootings like New Haven and Hartford, they're not doing a very good job. Anybody.
No, I think it's fun. Let's just sit back and watch how that unfolds.
The other thing, though, is, okay, here, this irks me.
No way.
AR-15, as everyone thinks, is completely, right, Connecticut's banned them, they banned others. Could I still go buy an AR-15 as long as it's compliant with the state?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so what?
And you can go buy a lower.
Well, and they didn't confiscate any of the hundreds and hundreds of thousands that are out there. There are a ton of ARs
I have SBRs.
in this
I'm sure you
state.
have SBRs. Again, the law made some...
I do too, by the way.
It made illegal stuff, right?
Maybe not.
Out of the blue.
Not a liberty to discuss
These guns
this.
are illegal. What exactly did it solve?
Nothing.
It's feel good.
It wasn't a problem to begin with if you look at the FBI stats.
Banning open carry in Connecticut. They told us it was an existential problem, yet nobody has ever seen it, except really rarely.
They did it because it relieved the police officers from getting calls on a regular basis, and it also stopped the people
maybe educate
like Darnell from instigating. That's
was
what
that
it was
that
done.
guy that was down? Yeah, okay.
Now, I'm not saying it's right, but that's what...
I was also told, ready? Because I questioned it with the general stuff. I called my rep for the town I live in, and they said, you don't seem to understand. It's going to stop the criminals from carrying guns.
What?
I was like, oh, okay.
How many criminals are open carrying? Not many.
They don't.
None.
You don't see the gun until they're using it.
Josh, they're a criminal. They're not supposed to have a gun. Period.
I mean, sure, but they do.
But
So,
they aren't
again,
advertising.
Where do you live, Todd?
Again, this law does nothing.
But they're not advertising it either.
Yeah.
So, no. And I know there's
This shit's
some...
tucked in their waistband.
They sold that bill of goods when they passed that law, that it was going to make us safer so criminals won't carry it open.
So,
Except they weren't carrying open to begin with.
the whole point, though, is the laws don't
They
do
lie.
anything to keep us any safer.
Because they lie.
And that's the key, is they lie and they confuse those that aren't, what's called indoctrinated into the world of the 2A, right? Because I teach classes. You've taught them before. How many times you say something in class and people are like, wait, what?
Yep.
It like blows
the
their
time.
mind. Like when we explain 22 long rifle,
Ben,
223 Remington, same size bullet. Sorry, they're both .22.
Yep.
One just goes really fast. Same with FN57.
I've had them
It's
not
just a
figure out,
22.
not understand it's one trigger pull, one bullet.
Exactly.
They don't know that because the media says tons go out. As soon as you pull that trigger, it's all gone.
1,200 rounds gone.
Right, and a skilled shooter can only shoot 30 rounds in a minute. That's what the gun expert said from Everytown. I was like, wow, sure, whatever.
Okay.
Yep. He's a gun expert because he wrote for the New York Times.
So I briefly talked to our favorite attorney today. Had nothing to do with Grant v. Higgins. Had something to do with an NFA trust question. And doing a Form 4 for a trust is a clusterfuck.
It's hard.
Okay. But anyway, he set up the trust, so that's why I called him. And just gave a little insight into his opinion on the Grant v. Higgins. And we'll just cover briefly that.
He is more conservative than some.
Yes.
In his opinions.
He does think there's a high chance we win this. But he does, the concern is will ARs and AKs be, we'll say, released in this? Yes.
AKs?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's AR-15s and any other semi-automatic rifle that is in that
Considered
In common
assault.
use.
in common use, that category.
Here's the problem. Is an MP5 in common use? Is a Galil in common use? Is anything that's not those two platforms
Well, wait a minute. Are
common
they looking at
use?
common use in Connecticut or common use in the country? Because
So-
if you're looking at Connecticut, probably not because they've been banned.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the whole country,
Maybe.
I bet you the numbers are higher
Well,
than you think they
that's
are.
the thing. when you went over next door to do whatever the hell you were doing, Michelle and I were talking.
Take caffeine.
And it depends how SCOTUS rules. Okay, so if they do something very narrow, that's good, but not good enough. But if they do something a little more broad spectrum.
But a little broad. You can't go way broad.
Not way, but
Definitely got to be in the spectrum.
These semi-automatic rifles are in common use. You can't ban them, right? Including components.
Correct.
Okay, so everyone's like, well, they didn't take a magazine case. It's like, I understand that, but they didn't.
There's one kicking around, though, from D.C.
But they didn't.
There's a couple.
They didn't kick it back down to a lower court. They just put it aside for right now, waiting to see how our cases play out.
Well, because you can't put everything, like we've said, you can't put everything in the kitchen sink into one lawsuit.
But when it comes into common use.
But that's what you told the Democrats to do on the gun bills. Put everything in the kitchen sink
because
in
I
there.
want them to, because then you can fight it and
here's
you can
the
win.
deal, though. When we look at magazines in common use, are there more or less states that are restricted to 10 rounds?
Less.
Within that
and
clump,
pistols,
including standard capacity magazines, because it's an attachment. It's part of it.
We could.
You can't really use an AR or an AK or anything like that without a magazine.
Oh, can you imagine?
It's a major component.
One at a time.
So if they rule that way, then it might pick up more. It all depends on how they.
There are so many variants as to how this can come out and what they can do. They've been saying they needed to take a 2A lawsuit, and I think this is one of the most contested as far as one side and another side. Like assault weapons is one of the biggest arguments you have out there.
Well, that was yesterday's argument.
Well,
today's argument now is convertible pistols.
Yes, but we have to get up to that with that.
So this case may be heard before the midterms. It may be heard, not decided. Don't give me October is when it starts. It is possible it is heard before then. Not decided. I'm going to throw something at. Hold on.
Possible. There's always a
possibility. Does the midterm affect this case? It shouldn't, but will it? If let's say we're talking Washington here, obviously, and let's say the whole thing flips. Does that give the conservative justices more fire under their ass, or does it give them less? And then what happens if they keep the House and the Senate, or they split that? Does that affect the political climate in one way or another, or make an argument into this? What do you think?
I don't think so for this term. I think maybe elections down the line. I don't think for this election cycle. I don't.
As long as they hear it before, because I'm pretty sure if the Dems take everything, they're going to try and pack the courts to 9 justices or beyond 9 justices. Because how many
have 9
circuits are there? 13 circuits.
Yep, I don't.
No, because when the Supreme Court was founded, there were
Correct.
9 circuits. Each one represented a circuit. Now we have 13 circuits, which means technically we should move the Supreme Court up to 13 people because we have 13 circuits. It would make sense historically.
But we
One
still
judge
have,
per circuit.
But we still have Trump.
He should pack the freaking courts now then.
But if that's what I'm saying, if it goes through, you have Trump who has the ability. It's not like it's an election year for presidential.
Right.
So you immediately going to,
And he's not
possibly
going for
have
a
that
re-election.
swing. No. But he has time yet. If they expand the Supreme Court, he has time to put in people.
Yeah, but it has to get approved by the Senate. And if
That's
you
why I
lose the
said,
Senate,
listen,
It does.
the Dems are going to pack
But
the Dems are going to pack the court anyways.
But they can't
We
get
should
it.
do it first. We should do it first, and we should blow the filibuster apart and just ramrod everything through because we know as soon as we lose control of everything, that's what they're going to do.
See, I don't think we should pack the court. I think we should leave it the way it is.
Why?
I just do.
Okay, that's what you think.
Yeah,
then
that's my
Trump's
opinion.
out, and then we have AOC, and then she packs the court, and now we're screwed forever.
But I'm saying across the board, I don't think we should have more. Whether AOC, Kamala Harris, Joe Schmo, Democrat, whoever gets in there, I still don't believe they should pack more people
Even
into
if
the court.
Trump picked them all. He's got some really crappy picks lately. The way they've ruled over some of the stuff, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, they're coming back around. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it's all, it comes down to their interpretation of the Constitution. And to be totally honest, and again, it's idyllic on my end, okay? I don't believe partisan should play a role in our Supreme Court.
No, Supreme Court is supposed to be outside of
It's the Constitution.
3 equal branches.
It's Constitution, and it should only be Constitution.
Yes or
So-
no? That's it. The
So
problem
politics
is a
shouldn't
lot
play.
of them try to legislate from the bench, like
No, and I get that, but
Ketanji Jackson.
that's
whatever
why
her name
I'm
is.
saying it's on my side. It's
Brown.
That's how I feel, and I know it's unrealistic. But that branch, that Supreme Court, was not supposed to be a political.
No, not at all. Entity.
Yes,
It was a
But
check.
they are, and they.
correct, and I'm not okay
I mean,
with
maybe
it.
not all of them, right? Maybe the justices you're disagreeing with on a certain topic, maybe they aren't. Maybe that's how they're interpreting the Constitution.
Well,
right?
and that's what I was going to say.
But
I
then
think they
maybe
do.
on both sides, maybe 3 and 3, you got them pulling politics, and then you got 2 that are a little we call wishy-washy because that's how they're interpreting the Constitution.
Barrett, I haven't agreed with some of her decisions. Kavanaugh, I haven't always agreed
exactly.
with. And so my thing is, okay, maybe that's their interpretation. Now, I will say the ones that were put in by the Dems, I don't think they're looking at the full Constitution. I think they're going with political party because they were put in by that political party,
My
so they have to
first
keep
thought,
them nice.
when I found out they got picked up for cert, I was like, please, sweet baby Jesus, keep Alito and Thomas
Yep.
away from the Grim Reaper with the grippy claw. Just keep those 2 around for another year or 2, please.
Just
Please.
just to get this.
Please.
But on the other hand, with that, if you want to talk about the Supreme Court makeup, I would like this decision to be made. And then I also do think that they need to step down before the possibility of having
And maybe they go
the
out with a bang.
opposition put 'em
right?
in.
They vote yes, and then they resign.
so that
Right. See,
Trump can
Trump
get somebody
puts in
else.
people.
People are trying to make them go out with a bang. I mean, Amy Coney Barrett was just swatted.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
didn't mean like that.
Well, no, I'm just saying
No,
so
yeah.
that's how the other side is playing, is putting the fear of God into them, like, hey, if you don't make the right decision the way we want, we're coming for you.
So let me ask you a question. I don't know if you've followed it as long as I have. I don't know if Josh has because he's young. But I think,
Wait, did you just call me fucking old?
no, you're with me. We're not old. We're just experienced.
We're just Gen X.
Yes, we're tough. But no,
We're feral.
that might be the case. But in my lifetime watching the Supreme Court, I have never seen it as politically driven as it is and has gotten up to this point over the last maybe 10, 15 years.
The country is more polarized now than ever before.
Because I remember the Supreme Court being kind of like in the middle. It's the Constitution. They didn't play their role. Yes, they were appointed by this one or appointed by that one, but when they got in there, they took their job seriously as far as what that meant. I think they take
No,
their job
because
seriously, but I think in a different manner now.
Presidents of the past have just appointed political hacks to that position to push through their agendas.
Correct.
And the fact that it's an appointment for life, listen, we can have that whole debate on itself with term limits and all that. I know growing up, you never heard about the Supreme Court.
No.
Here and there,
They made
maybe
decisions.
What side of the aisle you were on, we all agreed.
If the Supreme Court said it, then it was that
We all
was the
agreed
rule of
but
land.
we all had a common idea. We're Americans.
Yes.
We might not agree how to, politically, but there was common ground.
Correct.
Over the decades, it has become hyper partisan
Correct.
Yeah.
because people that live in Connecticut that are on the red, where they like guns, whatever it is, they don't like high taxes, they pack up their toys and they go to a redder state, which makes those states more red. Who's left in the blue states? The people
blue.
that like it, which makes those states more blue. You saw it during COVID.
Yeah.
When everybody pushed out these stupid things, like everyone needs to stay home, blah, blah, blah.
Mask up, do this.
The states that went buck wild with it, like Connecticut, saw a mass exodus of people that went to greener pastures where they didn't do anything and had no problems.
Yep.
South Dakota, never.
Arizona. I
Never
remember
did a
going
thing.
out on vacation. I called my girlfriend. I'm like, all right, I'm coming out. Do I have to bring masks? She's like, no, we're not masking up here unless you choose to.
Again, though, it made this redder states redder, bluer states bluer.
No,
I
you're
find
right.
it, on the mask topic, just because you brought it up, I find it hilarious that the government has now said you can't wear a mask if you're a federal agent. But 6 years ago, you had to wear a mask to, I don't know, go anywhere.
Did you see the press conference, though, where they questioned Lamont about it? And he's like, well, yeah, we passed the law, but we just don't like it. We don't think they should do it because he knows he has no power. He can't do anything. They're federal agents. You have no power.
Well, they just went nuts over that.
Little Bloomy went on TikTok and was like, yeah, we're not going to get them when they're on the job. We're going to go to their house. We're going to arrest them there.
Are you threatening a federal agent?
And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot.
Are you threatening a federal agent?
You used your inside voice.
That's my
Here.
question. It sounds like a threat to a federal agent. I'm
Well,
pretty
they
sure
went-
that's a felony.
They went ballistic because since the law was passed, they had their first arrest in a Danbury courtroom. And everybody's going ballistic over this. And it came out, they actually followed the warrant. They didn't have masks on. And then they pulled them up when the media and everybody and everybody that was sitting there protesting, they did pull them up at that point. But when they made the arrest, and the courthouse called them because the warrant was filed. So they did everything that Connecticut said they had to do.
Here's the thing.
But it still wasn't
Did you
good
see in the news what Tim Walz just did in Minnesota? There was a illegal alien that raped a 10-year-old little girl.
Oh.
So Walz pardoned him
What?
and released him to protect him from being snatched up by ICE and deported illegally.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, he pardoned a rapist of a 10-year-old that's here illegally to protect him from being snatched up by ICE and deported.
How is he still in office?
That's what the Somalis like.
I don't
Anyway.
have anything I can say politically appropriate on YouTube for that.
I forget politically,
so
just in general.
hey, what's in 2 days? What major holidays in 2 days?
America.
Mark, 250. That's why we have states that are taking down the American flag and hoisting up the Somali flag to celebrate Somali's Day of Independence. I am an American.
We live in America.
If you're a Somali and you come to America because you want to be an American,
You celebrate
you celebrate
America's-
America.
America's birthday.
So speaking of America's birthday, our State Senator Rob Sampson
Yes.
and Gail Manafrancesco,
Yes.
Francesca, something like that. Gail, I'm sorry. You have a very complicated last name.
It's not, but it just doesn't roll.
Go ahead.
Master Francesco.
Francisco. Todd, you want to try? No, Todd's like, no. Are currently, as we're filming this, on their way to D.C. right now.
Along with a couple GOP Central people.
Some peeps.
And then
So Rob was at Music on the Green yesterday in Southington for our America 250th event.
that was early. It's not till Saturday.
Yeah, well, we
I'm
do
just saying.
we do Music on the Green every Wednesday in
But it's
Southington.
Saturday.
So
That's Southington
That was the
pre-celebration.
it was a pre-celebration, and so I was down there. A couple other council members were down there. A couple other politicking. Donna was down there. Tim, who is
Kissing
running
hands
through
and
the
shaking babies.
sweating our eyebrows off. Okay,
Yeah.
it was toasty.
Try it today.
Tim
Ooh.
Wilk was down there from the 81st District. We're going to get him on the podcast eventually. And he's running against Chris Polis.
I thought he was running in a post, so he does have somebody.
Yes, he does.
Nice.
I just met with Tim this morning, actually.
Okay.
And so Samson was down there with some people, handing out stuff, talking to people, and told me they were going down. I think I saw it probably earlier
They're
on
going down
Facebook
today.
or something. Yeah, no, they're on their way right now. I saw Families for Freedom on Facebook, some nonprofit group, maybe a nonprofit. I don't know. But a group on Facebook, at least, was going down there. Then T-shirts and
Well,
some other
Lamont
stuff.
said straight out we were not going to be represented down there because of the cost.
No.
But-
I saw he said that because Trump's president.
No, he
That
said
was
the cost.
He said the cost, but yes. And then there was a Republican that offered up to all the states that said no, said here's $100,000, go represent. This is the 250th birthday. And the Lamont administration said, oh, too late. We're still not going to go.
So when
it
this got
wasn't money.
shared all over Facebook yesterday, people were not sane people were all pissed that Samson was going and Gail were going, and we're like, good, somebody should fucking go.
We are one of the OG colonies.
I
the
know.
Constitution state.
Yeah,
That's-
we had a constitution
It's disgusting. Well,
before everybody.
but see, the others, like, they're also the news media right now is saying how awful it is because it's dead, nobody's there. And I'm like, it just started and people aren't there yet. Like, they're going to wait until this weekend.
Yeah, why am I going to be there on
supposed
Monday?
to be the big one.
Like,
That's when they're doing all the big stuff. And they're like, oh, nobody goes because it's Trump. Everybody hates Trump, so nobody's going to this thing. And I'm like, wait just a couple days. I wish I was going. I would have gone in a heartbeat.
Here's one thing that really blows my mind. We are the Charter Oak State, right? So we had a charter that said Connecticut was independent from the Crown way back in the day.
Yep.
And then the Crown's like, nah, fuck that. Give us your charter. And we were like, nope. And we hid the charter. And when the King's Guard left, we pulled that bitch out and we said, fuck off. We're Connecticut. We're independent.
How far are we falling?
Yeah. How far we have fallen.
Well, it depends on who you talk to. If you talk to the other side, they say, no, we've done wonderful because now we have King Lamont.
Connecticut, we had the first constitution codified that the citizens have a right to have arms for their own protection and for the protection of the state.
Well, it said a lot of things that we were free.
That's our Constitution right there, black and white. Fast forward to today when our General Assembly is like, you're right, it is part of the Constitution. We get to pick what you use.
Yeah.
So hell you do. If I want to use a blunderbuss to protect my home with random stuff shoved into it like Legos, nuts, bolts, a kiwi, that's my choice.
A kiwi in there for health? What are we doing? It makes it a healthy
Little
one.
vitamin
After the little
C.
Lego pierces you, the kiwi comes in and gives you a little wound packing.
It helps it.
Just random objects. Just dump it all in.
Just a minifigs.
Put an orange. They're going to need some vitamin C.
Just want to scream, tally-ho, rapscallion, as I blow them apart with a blunderbuss.
You know what? You do have the hair for a wig, too.
God forbid you use an AR, but a blunderbuss, no problem. They're like, well, we can pick. I was like, well, technically, like a brown bess is not a firearm.
Correct.
That's a 54 caliber.
Yep.
You know what kind of damage that does to the human? It's a big ball of lead coming at you.
Well, it's like there was some post. It comes up on Facebook every now and again, and it's like the Second Amendment was only for the founding fathers, and we should only use those guns. So you hear a bump in the night. Somebody breaks in your front door, 4 people. You shoot him with a musket. The guy has a hole the size of a grapefruit through him.
Yeah.
And you load your personal cannon with grape shot, splatter 2 people against the wall, and bayonet charge the 4th one, stabbing with a trifle, whatever, the tri-bayonet, and he bleeds out before 911.
Here's the funny thing, the weapons they had. They had semi-automatics.
Yes, they did.
They've
been around forever.
Air rifles.
Yes.
They had all kinds of weird crap. They had a cannon that was, you crank the cannon, it was cannonballs, and it just rotated. It was like, doop, doop, doop. I'm like.
Well, I have to tell you, though, black powder guns, that's the only time I ever got a scope bite, ever. I don't like the recoil on them. Just saying. Not my friend. Because they always used to hand me the guns to sight in, whether they were black powder or not. And I'd sit there and I did not know.
I feel like you should do it.
Hey, they had grenades back then.
They didn't tell me that the black powder was going to kick back way more than even the 50 that I had shot previously.
And, like I said, they had grenades back then.
I like it.
Yeah, it wasn't like a little cannonball with a fuse.
Yeah, that's why we have grenadiers.
That'd be cool.
They were like they were special
freaking
forces during the
fuse in
Revolution.
well, that would have to be underhand because those are heavy. So
if you don't want a smoothbore, get yourself a Kentucky long rifle because they're rifled.
yeah,
And the snipers used them during the Revolution. They were poo-pooed upon
because it would help
because
it
they
go
were
straight.
super accurate.
Correct.
And they're like, that's ungentlemanly to snipe. And they're like, yeah, we don't care. We're Americans. Fuck you.
I love it. I love it.
That's the American way, though. I mean, think the British soldiers showed up to Concord in Lexington, and they're like, hey, we're here for your guns. And we're like, cool, sorry, bro. And we shot them all.
Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. Yeah, you know what,
that's
though?
the American way.
But it's not going to happen, at least not in this state. You know, they show up and say, take all your guns. Everybody's going to go, not going to take my guns. Knock, knock. Oh, here you go.
Okay, so I'm looking at the time.
We have time?
Real quick. I thought this was funny, and I hope it pans out. So the DOJ has completely done a 180 when it comes to our gun rights, all right? So they were threatening California earlier in the week about suing for their Glock ban, which is kind of like ours.
Same as ours, yeah.
So June 30th, the same day Grant v. Higgins got picked up by SCOTUS, Rob Bonta sent a letter to the DOJ.
Who is?
The AG for California, and it's well written, and it's on the DOJ to fuck off. So yesterday, the DOJ just dropped the entire lawsuit on them about Glocks.
Yes.
And a little bird told me that the DOJ is taking that lawsuit and they're going to go to all the states that have passed these stupid-ass laws dealing with cruciform trigger bars, and they're just going to drop them on them, including Connecticut.
So here's a question, though, on that. All right, just because for my own information, and I'm sure people listening want to know. Now, we get lawsuits all the time. You have GOA, you have SAF, you have CCDL, you have Joe Schmo, okay? We do lawsuits. They work their way up. When DOJ...
It goes straight up. There is no, we're going to start in a lower court in Connecticut. No. When it's the federal government,
Right.
like Connecticut court has no say for the DOJ federal-wise. Those have to go to federal courts.
Correct.
So when the DOJ...
But the lower federal courts are still messed up.
Yes, but when the entire DOJ is coming after you over things, and they change their tune. I mean, they just went after Virginia.
Yeah.
And the judge goes, yeah, we're going to put a stay on your assault weapons ban. It's unconstitutional. The DOJ is like, nah, we're taking this all the way up. So when the DOJ gets involved, you're bypassing a lot of lower courts, and now you're just jumping right into the federal court.
So that's something, basically, I was just wanted to make it clear for the listeners. So if the DOJ is coming out and doing all this, now California, they should all be jumping and going, thank God. But if they do drop it on Connecticut, like your little birdie says, that's a really good thing for us.
Yeah.
As far as gun ownership. Okay. I just want to make that clear for them.
Yeah, and, you know, I mean...
Can we find more of those birds?
You always told me I need to have contacts.
No, I would just like, can we find more to like go after other things?
Yes, he has those. I don't have those contacts.
You know what department is heading this up, right? So it's from Harmy Dillon, civil rights. It's
Nice,
not because
nice.
it's right. Civil rights, the DOJ civil rights department is the one that's like, nah, we're going after all these states that are doing anti-2A stuff because
Changed.
the civil rights of Americans. So,
Well, you know, the civil rights, the federal civil rights department, they are for the civil rights across the board. Now, granted, they've fought other rights but I'm not surprised. I'm just very
So here's
happy
the big
that they're
dynamic.
actually switching and coming into this arena.
here's a dynamic change. This is why it's all happening. We had Pam Bondi in the beginning, and she was like, in Florida, she sucked it on
Correct.
the Second Amendment.
Correct.
Shit can her. She's gone. New job, whatever. They bring in Todd Blanche.
Yep.
He's like, burn it all down. Burn it all down. These states that are anti-American, burn them all down. I'm like, I like this. I like this. It's about time.
Well, the way I look at it is, you know, Tong is very busily spending my tax dollars suing Trump. I would rather have him spend tax dollars fighting and trying to fight the DOJ.
Yeah,
Because at least I get something out of this.
I just like when the states try and defend these. Like when it came
It's for the
to
children.
Grant v. Lamont, or Grant v. Higgins now. When you look at the states' arguments, like, but we don't like them. They're scary.
We said that we were going to do this. We
Feelings over
told the
facts.
families.
We said they're dangerous. That's why we banned them. Yeah, well, it's too bad, bitch.
Maybe you should have done more research. We
All right.
told you.
Nope, that was it. Too bad, bitch. That ends the podcast today.
That's Tom.
Todd has the final say.
He always has the final say.
We gotta
All
fix
right.
that.
So yeah, we're just over an hour. We like to keep it to an hour. So
You're close.
we're close. We're close. Well, Derek, thanks for joining us today.
We'll see you next time.
Yay. I had to use the button. My name's Josh from Lock and Load Firearms.
I'm Michelle from Patriot Wear Holsters. That's just
I'm
Todd.
Todd, the gun guru.
I feel like I need to clip the remember from like Nickelodeon. It's like I'm Paul. I'm Todd.
Mickey Mouse Club. That's what it is.
I didn't watch
I just like how
Nickelodeon.
she's like, Michelle from Patriot Wear.
Is there a
Holsters.
Patriot? Is there a PatriotHolsters.com?
Yes, that would be
Who
why.
was here first?
She's like,
They
it's-
were.
It's
But
Patriot.
they're out west.
She's like, it's Patriot Wear. It's like, God.
That wasn't at the listeners. That was at a Josh. Like you offer and sell them. You should know what the heck's on your wall. It's Patriot Wear, and they're great holsters.